The given table shows the preference schedule for an election with 4 candidates named A, B, C, and D. Use the method of pairwise comparisons to solve parts A and B. This is actually a fairly arduous process, and instead of going ahead and just using paper and pencil, I'm going to use technology to help me with this. And what I'm going to do is go to the home page in MyMathLab, and you'll see that it's right here on the right, and then we still have the homework problem on the left. You'll notice where it says Multimedia Library in MyMathLab. I want you to left click that, and then once you do that, that's going to bring up a new page, and you're going to see that this has Java Applets here. If you left click that and get the check in the checkbox and then left click Find Now, it's going to bring up the different Java applets that you can use for chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to use a voting methods applet for this particular exercise. You will need to view my video on how to enable Java so that you can go ahead and use these applets. And you'll see that we have some tabs up here at the top. This gives you all the instructions that you need, but we're just going to go ahead and create the preference schedule. And what we need to do is have the same number of rows, which over here on the left you see that there are 4 rows, and the same number of columns, which means that there are 6. So we'll go ahead and add one more row, and then we're going to have to add 4 more columns. So we will just simply do that. Now you'll notice that there are the number of voters or number of votes. We'll see 24 here, 14 here, 13 here, 9. What you're going to do is left click into this, double click into the square, and type in 24, and then just press the tab key. That will take you to the next one. Type in 14, to the next one, type in 13, to the next one, type in 9, and then 7, and then finally 3, and hit tab again. And now what you want to do is you want to left click in this rectangle, and you're going to see that voter number B, or I should say candidate B right here, received first place out of these 24 voters. So we'll go ahead and left click B, and we're going to left click C, and then we'll left click D, and then we will left click A. And you'll see that this column right here where my mouse is going up and down now looks exactly like this column here. And you're going to go ahead and do that for the remaining 5 columns. Okay, and you'll see that I have completely filled in this table, and it looks exactly like the table in the exercise. Now we're going to be looking at pairwise comparison, and we will left click this. So left click pairwise comparison, and then what we want to do is we want to select 2 candidates down here. We're going to select candidate A to start with, and we're going to compare that to candidate B, and then we will left click compare, and you'll see that we find out that A gets 1 point because A has more votes than B does. We'll go ahead and compare A to C, and we'll see that C gets 1 point since C has more votes than A. So let's go ahead and move this over just a little bit so you can see all this. And then we want to compare candidate A with candidate D, and you'll see that we end up with D getting 1 point. And now we're going to go ahead and compare candidate B with candidate C, and notice that you don't have to compare B with A because we already did that when we compared A to B. It's the same thing. And C gets points, so now let's compare it to D, and we'll see that D gets 1 point. Now we'll go ahead and compare candidate C to candidate D. And down here you see the sorted results. D gets 3 points, C gets 2 points, and A gets 1 point. Which means that we can go back to the homework. And candidate blank is the winner of the election. We'll see that candidate D earned 3 points total, so candidate D is the winner of the election. And then it says find the complete ranking of the candidates, choose the correct answer below. Well, you already have that. It's DCA. Now notice that B is missing, so naturally B would be the last one. So we have DCAB, which would be this one. We left click check answer, and we have completed the problem.